Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on the Silver Mountain, and welcome back to Conan Exiles. Now, I did some running around, and my character here, Modsum, he seems to be kind of broken, because he's just always looking off to the left. So, just so you guys are aware that it's broken, I don't know why it's happened, but there you go. Whilst in between the this episode and the last one, I did what I said, and I came down here and I picked up some of the other bits and pieces. I marked my other last little kind of save point almost down here next to the dregs. And I also picked up another couple of different things here and there. Also, I mentioned this kind of in the last video, but also now, as you can see, we've got the different colours seemingly for the main base of each faction. So, it's a theory that we'll have to test when the new biome comes out next week. Next week at time of recording. By the time you guys see this, it will probably already be out. But as a result, though, this episode, I thought, firstly, I'd show you some of the other bits and pieces that we've got, because we've picked up a fair number of these emotes now, and so we've got different greetings, we've got salutes, we've got bowing and waving and stuff like that. And some of these kind of remind me of animations that were in Age of Conan, but at the same time, we've got the various dances as well. The one problem that I have, that just looks ridiculous, but the one problem that I have with the kind of emotes like this at the moment is now to get out of this, I'm tapping directions and stuff, and it doesn't do anything. I need to kind of lash out at somebody if I'm going to do anything. But then we've got kind of different conversation things, which are kind of helpful, actually, I found, because I was playing with Hannah on her game the other day, and just being able to kind of point at stuff to show her exactly where I'm looking was useful. Kind of Surrender has been in for a while now, but we've got these flirty emotions from the whore, kind of ghost personality seemingly, and we've got come here, and then we've got squirm, and squirm I don't entirely understand, maybe, especially when my head is turning around backwards almost. But then we've got some other bits and pieces I did actually find by Crom the other day, so maybe I'll go and take a look at that as well. We've got sit and sleeping as well, but then we've also got expressions, and I found this one the other day, but then I also found this one just now, which was just down on the other side of the broken bridge. It was just in here next to Nunu up here on Sherman's Rise. You had it just there, and there were some ghosts that were walking down the side there, but as a result, it's just this person being really submissive, and I don't know if that's what made my character's neck break, but I think it might have been broken before that. But yeah, so there are an awful, if I just lash out of that, there are an awful lot more kind of emotes and things for communication that have been put in and hidden around the place, which again gives another like small, not necessarily hugely significant, but kind of little and somewhat useful reward kicking around for those that want it. Now, the next couple of things that I said that I was going to do, we've got the trial plateau over here, which I need to go and finish off for Hannah to run through at some point after those occasions where she murdered me twice in quick succession. But then also we've got the kind of fallen city, the cursed city here, that we need to not just explore, but there's also, in theory, some stuff in there that we really want to go and see. And then there's also the new biome that, as said, should be coming out for me at time of recording in about a week's time. But there's one other thing that I've talked to you guys about, but I've not really done anything with, because I felt, oh, well, I'm going to find them out in the world and stuff like that. But I've not so far come across them. They could be in the cursed city. They could be elsewhere. Some of them, though, like they don't seem to be where I would expect them to be. For example, there's a kind of werewolf, hyena-esque individual who has a lot to say about the dogs up here, and yet I've searched kind of along this area to one extent or another around their camp, and I can't seem to find them. So one of the things that I thought we'd do now, just so that everyone's kind of at least in part on the same page with some of the stuff that's going on, is that we'd just go somewhere quiet, somewhere out of the way. I've already stuck cloak on, I think. If I haven't, we'll find out when a crocodile comes to try and kill me or something. Here we go. Good test. Hey, Croc. Croc. Hey, Croc. Nope. Okay. I stepped on his face and he didn't give a damn. So there's that. Oh! Who are you? Okay, this guy.
Another new one, eh?
He's the one that gives you the wave emote. And
Smell just a little more like despair. How about this? Once a sailor, now a wanderer. Didn't think you were the only one, did you? We should go up north. There's whole cities of exiles up there. In the beginning, there were only a few of us. Now, some fresh meats poodles are showing up every week. Not all of them as friendly as I am.
I think we bumped into this guy with Hannah, didn't we?
Yeah. Not desperate.
Or was that in her game? I can't remember. But this guy seems to be like the Welcome to the Exiled Lands NPC, which is fine, and he just seems to hover around this kind of space over here. But what we want to do... You guys having fun? Good. What we want to do... Oh, it's getting dark. Might not want it to be dark. We just want to kind of clamber up here, kind of head out into the sands again where we're not going to be disturbed. Like here should do. Yeah, here will do nicely. Right, but first we want to kind of set all of this stuff up. Let's just feed myself up so whilst we're here we're all good. But the thing that I want to take a look at is the various kind of named NPCs, and I can't remember what they're marked as anymore because it's been a fair while since I last came and took a look at them. But dialogue. I think they're marked as dialogue, aren't they? Here we go. Okay, so we've got Arcos the Wanderer, who we literally just met. But then we've also got the Child of Jibal Sag. We've got Gilzan the Treasure Hunter, who I assume is a relic hunter from there over that way. We've got Jamila the Pirate Queen, who we've met. We've got Mek Kamosis, who we've met. We've got Nunu the Cannibal, who we've met. But then we've got these others who we just haven't. And what I was thinking was, just so that everyone's on the same page, just so that I'm kind of not kind of running wild with stuff as we get into the new zone and I start talking about things and speculating and waiting for, hoping for the next parts of the story to be interesting and so on and so forth, that I would go through this. So if you're worried about spoilers or whatever else, I unfortunately spoiled this for myself a while ago when I was looking through these NPCs and things. But if you're worried about spoilers, then thank you very much for watching so far, and maybe avoid the rest of this video until after you've done or found these people. If you find some of these people in the landscape that I've just not been able to find, then great, please tell me where they are. But otherwise I thought we'd go through them and just have a chat with all of them. Allow me to see which ones have which emotes and things, but also pick up some other stuff. And go through and talk about what each one says. So Arcos we've talked about, and he talks about how welcome to the Exiled Lands. In summary, we've got Jamila the Pirate Queen, who talks about the Black Hand and how they've been taken over, and how though there are islands with human settlements off to kind of the east of the map, seemingly. And then she also talks about how there's a large gem in one of these main chambers in the cursed city. Metcamosis talks about sorcery and says that he'll teach you sorcery and stuff like that, but he needs you to help him restore his power first so that then he can teach you. And so again, he asks you to go into the cursed city, find something for him, come out, give it to him, and then he'll impart knowledge onto you. So, I think that if they actually start tying in kind of proper quests with rewards and tying in mechanics like learning extra spells for the sorcery system from Metcamosis, that sounds really cool to me. But anyway, let's go and listen to some of these others. So I'm going to spawn in this one. Here's the kind of hi.
Come, come to me. You have nothing to fear of me, human. I am simply lonely as I await my return to the misty lands. I would like to talk.
So the Misty Lands may very well be the north, in which case this is where I thought that this individual would be, up on the north edge of the map, for us to go and find. She's kind of werewolf hyena-esque, like some of the werewolf hyena things that are around the dogs up there. But anyway,
My appearance repellent to you people. Your kind find no kinship in the unnatural. My brother, NPC, summoned me from the misty lands. We are now our flesh, blood, and our kinship in Jemar. But NPC asked of me power that could not be given. He took my silence for disobedience and drove me forth from his camp in a wrath. I simply wish to return to my realm, but NPC will not allow it because he thinks I am withholding information. Why not simply kill NPC to secure passage to my realm? I will do. The incantations that he spoke bind us as one, tied together by invisible threads. His thoughts are my thoughts. If he is struck, I am bruised. If I am cut, he bleeds. There must be a severing of ties if I am to find my way back. You know Jemar, once all living things worshipped him. When men and animals spoke the same tongue, he would walk among them. Many formed, many chose. He would mate with females of all races, and from those humans would birth half-divine children such as I, such as NPC. Most men have forgotten the tongue that they shared with the animals. Only some few animals remember. Would you learn to speak with the animals, human?
ooh, so this guy could be, or guy, girl, creature, could be a way for us to start taming animals.
The realm that I come from is volatile, a world of shifting energies and elemental forces. By contrast, I find your world to be tranquil. I suspect that my nature makes me more sensitive to the undercurrents that run through this strange land. Take this grove, for instance. These trees were once
Okay.
something else. Not human, nor any other creature that I have encountered in this place. And they are screaming.
So
Lest
this individual is somewhere near the sulfur pits, in theory. I wonder where, because we went and took a look at that, like, not the last video, the video before. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll have to go and take another look back there.
seen my brother NPC. Lost in the mad-scented lust of the hunt. When he summoned me, he sought the power to become a beast for a living. When I refused him and was outcast, he turned to darker powers. I fear that a man has floated over the mountains of the dead, bearing his request to the four brothers of the night. The gods of darkness
Okay, so again, this.
My appearance repellent.
Okay, so this critter here may very well be. Can we? Nope. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. We'll just remove you. Boop. Oh, sorry. Do you have anything on you? No, didn't think so. But yeah, okay. So that might be something of a kind of transitory thing carrying over to the other kind of region as and when it happens. So Gilzan the treasure hunter. Let's see what this person has to say.
Good day, noble adventurer. I am
Taunt.
Gilzan, treasure hunter and man of fortune. If you are planning to wander the avenues of this cursed city, then perhaps I can offer some advice. No charge the first time.
Okay, so not all of his dialogue came up at the bottom there.
Happened along at the right moment, friend. A grand opportunity awaits in the city if you can only find the right chamber. I've marked it for you with the sign of the serpent. You'll know you're in the right place when you see it. Just follow the passage. Great treasure awaits.
So in theory, he's already in the city. So that's probably why I've not found this guy.
You might be wondering why I decided to just share the location of that treasure with you. Just generous, trusting nature is all. I didn't come here as an exile like so many of you others. No, I volunteered. They were hiring people like me to help them find relics in the ruins. Of course, they told me the bracelet was to stop me running away with any relics I found. They didn't tell me it would make my head explode. Lucky for me, I pushed that other fool over the boundary to test it first. Look, you can't blame me for trying. Those serpents have been down there for an age. They're hungry. I offered them a few tasty adventurers, and then, while they're sleeping it off, I sneak past and get a few relics for myself. It's beneficial for the person I care most about. Me.
Okay, so they, at somewhere in the city, he's sending people in to find relics to kill the serpents, kill them, and then when they're sleeping off, he goes in and steals stuff. But in theory, we win.
I don't know what exactly this place is, but a lot of things here don't add up. First, a lot of people who should be dead are alive here. Why were they spared? Second, the purge. They kill anybody and anything that gets in their path, yes. But they also take any relics that they can find with them when they get out. Some of the less reputable people I know call this skimming. You let some other fools take all the risk and then rob them blind after it is done. These exile plans are one hell of a scam.
Okay, so he's now talking about the purge as well, coming in and just wiping people out, but also stealing stuff.
Seems that the relics are the entire point of this whole exercise. Whoever or whatever it was that built the ruins, it's them that the people who needed this place are interested in. We're just here to be cheap labor. But that's what gives us an opportunity. If you can figure out what they're looking for, and you can find it first, and you can defend it from the purge, well, then you'll have the biggest bargaining chip of all. Then you can make a great deal.
Okay, so potentially the end game is going to be based around relics and keeping them safe from the purge to gain freedom, maybe?
You happened along at the right moment, friend.
Okay, well you're done.
Opportunity awaits in the city. If you can only
Zip. Did his head just explode? Even if it did. Okay, so we've talked to Gilzan, we've talked to these two. Muriella, the artisan. Hold on, I want to see what this guy had. Plant fibers. Muriella.
Lay your hands, stranger. Come, look into the pit. No time troubles awaits therein. I am his shaman, Nunu. Your
Okay,
my heart has a
Muriella doesn't have dialogue yet, so we can't find out anything from her, so we'll have her head explode. Who else have we got? Well, we got Nunu, we've talked to him. Petruso the Sandstorm Maniac. Oh, hey, dude.
Stay your hands, stranger.
Okay, Nunu seems to be default. So let's get rid of him. More dialogue characters. The Archivist. Now this character I'm aware of, But the last time I saw him, he had nothing to say to me, and it seems like that's still very much the same. Now, I found him. He is in the city, I think, and I'm fairly certain I know where he is in the city. But as said, he doesn't have anything to say to us, and he hasn't since the beginning. So maybe if he's an archivist, maybe he's the person who, when we need to find the relics and deal with them that way, then that'll be that. But also, he doesn't explode like the others, so, hey. Right, and then we've got... See, now the Mountaineer, I don't remember the Mountaineer being here, so I want to take a look at this first. Learn religion. Learned Mountaineer. And he doesn't talk. Okay. That's strange, but is Mountaineer... It said religion, but I don't know necessarily what that means. Like, did we learn anything from here? Or is he just a placeholder for who we learn? Because we know that Ymir is the next god being added. So maybe he's a stand-in for learning that. Anyway, there's one last one, and this is probably the biggest set of spoilers. So if you've been able to bear with it so far, and yet you're still somewhat conscious of spoilers or conjecture around the story and stuff like that, then maybe avoiding this would be a good idea. But otherwise, here we go. Let's take a look at him. He's seemingly the only surviving giant in this place. Like, hold on, let's just ghost for a second so I can actually have a look at you. Like, he pretty accurately fits the statues that we can see over there in the distance. I mean, he's big, pointed ears, big teeth, big head, but seemingly still around for some reason. So let's hear what he has to say. That's nice of you, thanks. So from that, I'm guessing that he isn't in the city because he's walking in his mind. He's not walking in actuality. But again, I've not been able to find any real sign of him elsewhere other than spawning him in. But he's talking about them being set worshippers. Again, it's not that much of a surprise considering that's where Metcamosis points us to find his charm. And he suggests that Tokomon was there to pick up his various artifacts and things as well. So fair enough, it's not all that surprising. So again, now, he's saying that they gave them the north, where there were the trees and everything else up there, which is the next region that's being added to the map this coming week, at point of recording. And so, you've got that interesting thing where they were generous to begin with, and there was a long time of just peace and prosperity, trade back and forth. Yes, slavery to an extent maybe, but... So they actually started taking slaves and created the bracelets and everything else en masse as a prison of war and labor system because they seemingly don't breed like rabbits like humans do.
As one of the triumph that ruled this land, the archivist concerned himself primarily with the collection of knowledge, and the priest king had dominion over our spirits and the rituals of our faith. The more prepared, for it was my duty to keep them safe. For a while, I did my duty, and held the northern passages against the humans. Together with the archivist, I established the watchtowers to warn us of the coming of the humans. They burn still, and they wonder. When their color changes, it is because those of your kind have crossed the borders to our kingdom, who intend to slay, burn, and kill.
So here's some of the stuff that I've mentioned before. So he and the archivist, the ghost that wouldn't talk to us a minute ago, were as well as another one, the priest king, I think he said, all involved in just ruling over the city and the lands around it, the exiled lands as they are now. And so then, though, he says that this guy is essentially the hero of his people. He was a general and the person there to protect them, whilst the archivist was concerned with hoarding knowledge. Hence, maybe him having the relics that we might have to look for later. But he says that between him and the archivist, they made the towers that are around the place with all the flames on the top. The one that I specifically built my tower next to so that we could see the flames change when the purge comes, because I have a feeling that that's going to be the main kind of way of telling whether the purge is coming or not, because that's when the human forces are going to be racing into this area and looking to kill and steal stuff from us, then that's going to be the hint.
During the skirmish, the human created a new weapon, forged of their strange science. It smashed the necks of my troops. Germany was captured and its blast into solid stone. Those who survived fled south to make our wounds. Returning to the small humans, the priest king came to me with a proposal. A new ritual to counter the human sciences. A powerful magic to scour the landscape and drive them forth. Desperation. I agreed. Didn't understand. In ages past, this was the most fertile land in our empire. But then I purged the magic and created the sandstorm. But I lost control of it. I betrayed my people to a slow, dwindling doom.
Okay, in which case then, seemingly where all of those sulphurous trees are, which I said looked like the corpses of the giants and things like that. Apparently, yeah, they were. Apparently, it was a case of all of that area being hit or otherwise being kind of tainted by whatever it was that the humans did, which maybe we will learn as part of the sorcery system, maybe we will learn as part of another god's thing. Who knows? Maybe it's something to do with what was said by the child of Jebel Sag, who we talked to a moment ago. Maybe it's all interconnected in different ways, and we'll find out about it in the future. But then the sandstorm, that is still a threat that comes across the map every once in a while, and is only going to get more dangerous. He released it with the help of the Priest King, but he was the one that was supposed to take kind of control of it. He lost control, and that's why the Exiled Lands is now an empty desert instead of anything else.
I have been alone in the darkness for a long time here. Few have come to look for the answers. If there was a man who killed humans alone, I had not spoken with another being for thousands of years, and there was a hole in the conversation. To one who embraced the mission to you, to learn my speech, and who listened to me talk of the sea, what it once was. And for a while, as I described it to him, it lived again.
Okay, so then he's alluding to, I think it was Tokomon that Metcamosis mentioned, that came here, and he came here as well to find stuff, and then he was banished here and blah blah blah. But it's very much a case of that guy who took over the Stygian kind of part of the world and started conquering places and set everything up, I think, for, depending on if I've got the character right. Again, it's been a long time since I've read any Conan. He was one of the big bads for that Conan had to face, and so it's kind of rolled on that way. But as a result, he doesn't seem to want to tell us anything. And then that's it. So he refuses to tell us anything, but he says that he's been... Whoa. Down you go. Okay. But he says that he's been alone in the darkness, so I can only assume that maybe he'll be in a place underground, or a dungeon or something. And that's one of the reasons I've not found him in the map either, to actually show you guys. But I kind of wanted to go through this again just so that we're all on kind of similar pages, so that when the stuff gets released, when the new biome gets launched, and I start running around in it, and I start exploring, and I start building more purge-proof structures. If the purge is even a thing that occurs that far north, we'll have to see. I want to be able to speak a little bit more freely, and so as a result, I'll keep giving a nod saying, yeah, this might be a spoiler or not, but I just wanted to make sure. Let's just refill on food and water for a second, just so that we're good to just get back to the lodge, so I can save whilst I'm talking to you guys. But it's like I want to go through this stuff, and well, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. But I want to go through it. I want to talk to you guys about it, like just very straightforwardly, as I'm kind of going through the new content, as I'm finding new things, as I'm building new stuff, as I'm suffering through the temperature system and things like that, and so as a result, I'd like to keep this in mind, because also, in theory, new biome means new dialogue characters. New dialogue characters means new hints on story, new hints on quests and things that may be added, and new other stuff for us to look into as we find it. So I'm going to stand on the roof. And so as a result, though, thank you very much, guys. Again, I really wish I knew why this guy, what's so interesting off to the left all the damn time. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then please drop us a like, share this video, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care.